Good evening and welcome to Polka Power here on 91.3 FM CJTR, Regina's Community Radio. My name is Gus Yanchishin.
And I'm Don Malinsky.
And you are listening to Polka Power on 91.3 FM CJTR, Regina's Community Radio. And of course, I'm Gus Yanchishin, and you just heard the intro that myself and Don Belinsky used. Don Belinsky was a co-host, and he was a co-host from March 15th of 2010 until Don Belinsky moved to Winnipeg in 2013. Jerry Kowalczyk then took over. We're going to hear from Don Belinsky right now.
Good evening and welcome to Polka Power on 91.3 FM, CJTR, Regina's Community Radio. My name is Don Belinsky, a.k.a. Polka Don, and I want to thank Gus for introducing me to the airwaves after Ron Nagel left many years ago. I was scared as heck with all those buttons and then done the show by myself for a bit. And folks, always remember, this is a volunteer position. One cannot imagine the hours spent on preparing a 2-hour show. For 1,000 shows, yikes. A huge thanks goes out to Brian for keeping our toes tapping till today. Another former host, the late Jerry Kowalczyk, would for sure want to say a word or two, but as we know, that can happen. But Jerry and myself recorded a few tunes just prior to his sudden passing. So here is Jerry on the accordion, and yours truly providing the rest of the racket on the Troika Polka. Enjoy, and congrats again on 1,000 shows.
Don. That was very well done. Well, Don started in 2010, and so did Jerry Kowalczyk. He came in, and we were hosting together between Jerry and myself and Don. We put on the show until Don had to move to Winnipeg in 2013. Here's a bit of an excerpt of Don's first show on May the 3rd of 2010.
And then we finished off the set of 4 with McKenna's Polka by the Ukrainian Connection out of Hafford, Saskatchewan.
Okay, I noticed you're pretty low there. Give yourself a little bit more volume. Yeah, watch the needles there. Yeah, we've got Don driving the bus here today, first time, so he's going to be watching. I'm giving him some lessons here, so if anything goes wrong, no, that's your mic there. That's mine. Yeah, we got to get this straightened out here. There we go. He's doing a good job, so bear with us. We're teaching Don how to drive the bus here since Ron is no longer with us. And so after Don left for the Big City Lights of Winnipeg, so Jerry Kowalczyk and I took over and we co-hosted up until his sudden passing on March 30th of 2015, just before the show. So Jerry's last show was March 23rd, 2015. So I then jumped in and with Jerry's son Lacan, we did a host in tribute to Jerry. And shortly after that, Brian Sklar took over, and he's there till the present time. You're going to be hearing from Brian in the next hour. Here we have a short excerpt of Jerry Kowalczyk on the air with me when we started out a show. We're having a lot of fun here.
Good evening, everyone.
And welcome to Polka Power here on 91.3 FM CJTR.
Regina Community Radio.
And my name is Gus Yanchishan.
I'm Jerry Kowalczyk.
And we're here for 2 hours of great old-time music for you here. There we go. That's better. Jerry's driving the bus again. This is your big test here tonight.
Yeah, I'm skating again.
You're skating, yeah. Okay, so we got the mics tuned up now. Very good. Had a few lessons I had to so stop your fingers there for a minute here. Okay, I'm just going to turn you out.
Slap my fingers. I haven't got any knuckles left.
There we go. You're learning. Anyway, we're having a good time here.
Yeah, we are.
Over the years, we had many people attend us live in the studio here as guests. First of all, I tried to get Nestor Shedlowski to come on the air, but we could never. He was never in town on a Monday night where he could actually come live. So what we did, we arranged for a telephone interview. It was the first time we ever used a telephone, and it proved to be a little challenging, but we did have Nestor on for a little while, and it was great. He welcomed us to the show and welcomed Polka Power, and of course his sponsorship. After that, a Ukrainian Easter show was done, and we brought in Helen Bialy from Winnipeg, Manitoba. She actually comes from Sarto, which is the hometown for Nestor Shedlowski, so she was able to give us some insight as to what he did when he was a kid. So it was great having Helen on the show. She, of course, explained all the Easter traditions for the Ukrainian Easter traditions, all the food and so on, and all the egg decorating and the Pasanka, which was really great. It was a great show. Next, we had Eddie Twill from Edmonton, Alberta. He came in with his new CDs that he had bought, and it was a great to have him on the show. The Emeralds were appearing at the Casino Regina, and we couldn't get them to stay Monday night, so what I did, I went to their hotel room and I taped a whole session of questions and answers with them, and I was able to have a show with just the Emeralds, which was really great. On January 13th of 2002, I brought in a friend of mine, Joe Warbeck, who came in, and we were going to start up a little skit, little comedy skit on the air with Joe being Joe Fafufnik. And it was kind of interesting. We did get started up, but it never did go any further, so it was too bad because it would have been great. Brian Sklar appeared on the show on July the 21st of 2002, which was show number 34. Did a great job, and I have a recording of that one too, but Brian will explain that in his part of the show here today. And Walter Ostanek appeared with Brian on 4 times. I thought it was more. He might have been here a few more times, but he appeared on show 77, show 207, show 233, and show 363 from 2003 to 2008. It was great having Walter on the show. He came with some new CDs, and between Brian and Walter and myself, we had very interesting shows with him. Dave Dreyer came over on September 15th of 2003, which was show 95, and he brought in his CD with the Dreyers, which was well received. He also came back with Vince Weber on October 20th of 2003 for show number 100. Len Gaditsa came to our show, show 104, on November 17th of 2003. And I believe he was on one other show, but I couldn't remember the date. The Western Senators appeared live in the studio. We set them up in the green room, as we call it, and we set up microphones for them, and I was mixing live on the air, which was quite challenging, but it turned out really, really good. So that was the Western Senators with Brian Sklar. Terry Schizler was my guest on February 20th of 2006 for show number 222. Ron had mentioned earlier that his buddy Ron Langelier, great musician, was on show 252 with us on September 15th of 2006, and also on October 9th of 2006 for show number 255. Ron brought some music from the bands that he used to play with, which is really well received, and I played them on the air for him. George Kress appeared with me on the show on October 16, 2006, show number 256. And then Gordon Radu followed April 2nd of 2007 with show number 280. That's the late Gordon Radu, and I was working on producing one of his CDs, and it was great. He was able to tell stories of how they were produced and so on, how he started in music. It was great to have Gordon Radu on the air. Frank and Don Producini made a special trip from Winnipeg, Manitoba to appear on our show on Polka Power on August the 25th of 2008. Don and Frank are with the band Prairie Crocus, and that we played their music, and Frank was getting up in age, and he really enjoyed being on the show. This was one of his highlights in his career. The late Clem Gelowitz appeared on the show. We also played his famous number, the Crystal Waltz, which he composed. And it was great. He gave an insight of all his bands and the Canadian Polka Kings and all the bands that he played with. So it was great to have Clem Gelowitz on the show. Dennis Nicolation, a good friend of mine, appeared on the show on June 15th of 2009. He was on the way back from Yorkton, where he appeared and showcased with Scott Cornelius. And he came to the show for the Monday night. He stayed over an extra day and helped me host that show, which was really great because Dennis is a great wealth of knowledge. Dennis used to play with the Interlake Polka Kings, Polka Drifters, and he's got his own band now, the Dennis Nicolation Band. We're going to hear from Dennis right now.
Well, hi, everyone. This is Dennis Nicolation, and I would like to say congratulations to 91.3 FM CJTR Regina on the production of Polka Power Show number 1000. Wow, that is really quite an accomplishment. I would like to say thank you to all the people behind the scenes that make this happen every Monday night, especially our current hosts, Gus Yanchishin and Brian Sklar. It is beyond wonderful to be able to listen to this happy toe-tapping music every Monday night. Well done.
Well, Dennis Nicolation played with the Interlake Polka Kings, and I did play an Interlake Polka Kings number on our very first show on November 25th of 2001, and that was the Quappell Valley Polka. Here's Dennis Nicolation with the Interlake Polka Kings with the Quappell Valley Polka. Listening to Polka Power here on 91.3 FM CJTR Regina's Community Radio. And this is a special show. It's show number 1000. So we have been doing the history of the show. We have gone through some of the history, the hosts, the sponsors, and the guests that we had live in the studio. And now it's time maybe to talk about the tribute shows. Since most of the musicians are well known, when they pass away, of course, I like to do a tribute to them, especially the ones I knew very well. The first one I did was on November the 29th of 2001. So I was right in the first year, just a couple of weeks after, right after we got started. And that was Tommy Buick. Tommy Buick, a great fiddler from Ethelbert, Manitoba, and Winnipeg, Manitoba. And he has many records and tunes, so I did a tribute for him then. Good friend of mine, Lawrence Warbrook, he used to attend all the polka dances and polka festivals all over the Canada and United States. And he was in Las Vegas for a festival, a polka fest, and passed away suddenly. I'm not sure if it was right on the dance floor or very near to the dance floor. Ron did a tribute to Frankie Yankovic on October the 6th of 2002. That was on show number 45. Steve Oystrick, whom I played with the Variety 5. Steve hails from Ryan, Saskatchewan. And on show 98, I did a tribute to Steve Oystrick. And that was on October the 8th of 2003. Elbin Sopkowicz passed away suddenly. He played with the Ambrose Brothers. And I did a tribute to him on August the 16th of 2004. A great fiddle player from Hubbard, Saskatchewan. A good friend, Les Pavlik, or Mitro as we call it. I met Mitro a few times and he gave me a bunch of CDs and he really enjoyed the show and really promoted us. So he passed away suddenly, so I did a tribute to Metro. Mickey Sklepovich from Mickey and Bunny fame. He passed away November the 16th. We did a tribute on November 16th of 2008 to him. Gordon Radu, who I had on the show, as I mentioned previously, and that was on April the 2nd of 2007 on show 280. But I did a tribute to him on November 17th, 2008, show number 365. Bill Woloshin, famous Bill Woloshin from the Interlake Polka Kings. On August the 3rd, 2009, I did a tribute to him. And of course, Jerry Kowalczyk. Jerry Kowalczyk, he passed away on March the 30th of 2015. And we did a tribute the following week with Lacan, his son. And for 2 shows there, we tributed Jerry Kowalczyk. And a good friend of mine and sponsor our first show and all the music that we started with, Nestor Shadlowski from Baba's Records, Platinum Records, Sunshine Records in Winnipeg, Manitoba, a good member of the Ukrainian Old Timers, passed away, and I did a tribute show to him on October 18th of 2020. That was last year. We're now going to bring up the Ukrainian Old Timers here with a number that I played on the first show, and this one's called Semyon's Polka by the Ukrainian Old Timers. We also played on the first show Mickey and Bunny, featured in their Ukrainian song medleys. Here's Mickey and Bunny.
Tam na chore kruta wieża, tam bez straty cię woda, tam dziewczyna czornobrywa, poruszaja młoda. Tam dziewczyna czornobrywa, poruszaja młoda. Jak pogląda biestrym okom, jak się miło zasmieje, to a sercu lepszy stanie, a w kozaku sercu wie. To a sercu lepszy stanie, a w kozaku sercu wie. Oj, wicy hurra, wicy druga ja, między tymi chorenkami jasna ja zorja. Między tymi chorenkami jasna ja zorja. Ja sobie hada, що зоря зійшла, а то моя дівчинонька по воду пішла, а то моя дівчинонька по воду пішла, а я за нею, я за зорею, сивим коняченьком понад водою, сивим коняченьком понад водою. Bystra voda, pereženkes nosi. Molodej strilec, o tama na prosi. Molodej strilec, o tama na prosi. Pusti, že mene o tama ne izvolja do domu. Zaplakala, zatužila, dівчина za мною. Zaplakala, zatužila, dівчина за мною. Puszczę ciebie, ale nie samого. Скажу осідлати коня вороного. Скажу осідлати коня вороного. Ой, підеш нею, підчириш нею, стояв старий з молодою, якийсь ягодою, стояв старий з молодою, якийсь ягодою, і просилася, і молилася, пусти ж мене, старий діду, я те піду, пусти ж мене, старий діду, я те піду.
Well, my part of the show is just about coming to an end here. I'm going to play one more number to take us to the top of the hour here. But come back after the hour. Brian Sklar is going to do the second half of the show, the second hour, Polka Power Hour number 2, and he will give his information about the show and on our Show 1000 special show. So I want to thank everybody from my side of it that attended here today and listening in, and all those that sent in congratulations. Really appreciate it. Walter Ostanek also played on the first show of mine. He did the Ukrainian folk medley. And here's Walter.
все чорна, ой, чорна я циганка. Щем си полюбила, чорнява голіванка. Щем си полюбила, чорнява голіванка. Люблю тебе, Марусю, люблю за твою вроду. Люблю дивитися, як ти йдеш по воду. Люблю дивитися, як ти йдеш по воду. Я музику дуже люблю, на музику піду. Як музика та заграла й забуду за біду. Ой та дуна, 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 ой та дуна дана. Ой та дуна, 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 ой та дуна дана. Ви музики грайте, а ви люди чуйте. А ви старі їду дому, молодий ночуйте. Ой та дуна, 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 ой та дуна дана. Ой та дуна, 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 ой та дуна дана. Червонорожа трояка, червонорожа трояка. Ой, малая мужа, мужа є мала, малая мужа піяка. Ой, малая мужа, мужа є мала, малая мужа піяка.